Hello and welcome to this podcast on suicide prevention and emotional intelligence. Our speaker for today is Ms. Sheema Majiuddin, who is a certified clinical trauma professional psychotherapist based in the US. She's going to be giving us meaningful insight on suicide prevention for negotiators with emotionally unstable hostage takers. Ms. Sheema, dealing with terrorists with a death mindset is very difficult. Can you please share your experience with how you handle such cases?
Sure. Though I'm not the expert in terrorist negotiations and suicides, we are dealing with someone who has a mindset. They started the day, set the mind that my day is going to end with me not being here. So what happens with those type of, there is a lot of brainwashing that goes into it, right? So it takes several months, sometimes years of getting someone trained to that level, that what they're doing is sacrificing beyond their own life, that they're sacrificing themselves for a greater good. And so then what that becomes is less about hopelessness, where suicide, when someone is suicidal, there's hopelessness, I don't want to live anymore, I'm done. Where terrorists is, no, there's hope, because when I do this, there's going to be a greater good for what I'm doing. Yes. So it kind of changes in how you approach them, because you want to convince them that it's not the greater good. Where when someone is suicidal, the person who's not a terrorist, when they're suicidal, you want to convince them that there is good in staying. Where the other person, you want to convince them that there isn't good in dying.
What do you think about elements of emotional intelligence? How can law enforcement officers control their emotions during negotiations?
Yeah, so in any type of training within suicide, we are trained for our emotional intelligence. There's a level what we call detachment. So you are dealing with someone who's highly emotional, willing to die. There has to be a level of detachment. Terrorist negotiators have to have an even higher level of that, because terrorists are not only taking their own lives, they're taking the lives of other people.
Innocent people.
So as a negotiator, you have the lives of many people in your hand. So emotional intelligence happens on many levels. There has to be a level of detachment emotionally to what is going on, so that you are able to have a clear mind, but also the emotional intelligence and understanding what is going on for you. So negotiators are taught how to kind of check in with themselves of what's going on, so that they don't do or say anything that can be too catastrophic to themselves or to the people involved in the terrorists.